Earth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of the Side Quest.
Welcome back to the Side Quest podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm BJ.
I'm Luke. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Matt's favorite time of year. A podcast where me and BJ are going to talk about nothing but Yakuza, and he will have nothing to go off of.
You know, we got some of it out of the way.
Yeah.
So,
to tell you what we talked about, we're not. No, how y'all been this past week? It's been
I've been alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Works for me has just been the same old. Thankfully, I have this weekend off, so.
Yeah, there's not much going on recently.
Yeah.
why are you just tight?
What?
I said, you going, like, anything up with you? No, just
Not really. Just boring times recently.
Gotcha. Less boring now?
Now the Yakuza's out, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the first day that I downloaded it, I played it until I was too tired to continue. And then I woke up the next day and played it all day and then fell asleep last night because I was too tired to continue. And then you woke me up like 15 minutes ago.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I've been all right too. You know, it's a little bit of a heavier week for me. But yeah, Mecha Break came out on Sunday, which is a weird day to drop a demo.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a demo is kind of you can kind of put that whenever because it's free. Jump in whenever. If it's like a time.
Yeah, but if you I don't know, a weekend would be nice to start a demo.
Yeah, but I feel like we're kind of getting to a point now where games can just kind of release whenever. Because what was it? One game I feel like recently just was like, fuck it,
But that's
Tuesday.
not convenient.
Well, I'm saying like I feel like now it's like because I don't know why, but like I feel like games are just being like, fuck it, it's ready now, put it out now. Like instead of no, we're gonna schedule a whole release date. Like game, because a lot of companies are now just like get the game out. Who cares?
Yeah.
Because if a game doesn't sell a shit zillion dollars anyway, they're gonna shut down their fucking companies and studios anyway.
True.
So fuck you, WB.
Yeah, so no more.
Well, there already wasn't any more Shadow of Mordor games.
There could have been.
Yeah, but they were too busy working on Wonder Woman, which was gonna have the Nemesis system, but then that got canceled, and WB owns the rights to that system, so no one else can use it.
So Wonder Woman is now canceled.
Yeah, because the studio is gone.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so now the only studios that WB has are Avalanche, who does Hogwarts Legacy, Rocksteady, who does Batman, and sadly Suicide Squad. I would assume that would have gotten them shut down because that game was a failure. They lost millions.
Well, apparently they did their last season thing, and they were like, oh, they were all clones.
Well, apparently that was the point. Like that was one of the leaks.
Yeah, they say from the beginning that's been the plan. Fucking bullshit.
Well, no, like that was what was it?
No, dude, they saw the reaction of what they did to Batman, and then they were like, turn back on that.
It was what the fuck? The guy who also just leaked the recent stuff. He was also saying like, yeah, that's been Suicide Squad's plan from the beginning, but because they didn't tell you that ahead of time, it didn't work. Because like you should have at least in the main game been like, hey, that's Brainiac clones, and you could get the real ones back instead of, whatever. And so then you get that Batman scene. You're like, this is the last time we're gonna see Kevin Conroy ever again. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick thing. So, in Mecha Break, it's to let people know, it's a hero shooter style mech game. So, 6v6. In this demo, they've opened up a extraction mode where it's PvE VP. So you'll drop on a map with a storm that's closing in, and you have to fight bosses, pick up loot, and then
Elden Ring.
Kill other players. We can get to that later. And kill other players.
Boy, will we.
And in that mode though, you can collect these gold legendary crates, and you can open them, and they'll either give you the purchasable credit, or you will get a code to redeem a real life figurine that they are making
Of the mechs.
of one of the mechs.
Oh,
That's badass.
that's actually
It's
sick as
because they
fuck.
know they're just gonna sell out,
Yeah.
and so they're just like, yeah, there's a chance that you can, like, if you open it, it'll either give you a code or it'll just. And I've only gotten the credits, but I just think that is genius, having a real in-world thing.
Yeah, that you can win through gameplay.
Yes, I think that is so.
That's
so
really cool.
sick. And yeah, I've seen the figurine. It's insane. I mean, it's one of those that's like, it's a full figurine that's like, they've cast it and everything. It's, yeah, very good.
That's dope.
It's
So,
really cool.
I mean, and I guess I can be telling now to get it. I've been playing Elden Ring. Well, so I did say to everyone that I was playing Armored Core with Adam, and that was going great until we got to a really big, like, pivotal part in the story, which is like one of the harder boss fights, called the cell fight. And we tried to load in together. He didn't get pulled in. We're like, that's weird. And so we keep on trying, and then Adam, like, looked it up, and he was like, oh no, Matt. I was like, what? So he sends me this whole thing that was like, once you get to this stage, back up your save data, go to your normal game on Steam, because this one launches through, it's called, like, Armored Core Co-op, and it's a separate application that you just put game files into the original Armored Core files, and you launch it from there. And they're like, just go to the actual game, play that game set, like that level separately. Then after you beat that fight, then you can go back. If not, your files are completely corrupted. And we were like, oh my gosh. And so I finally beat this person by myself. It was insanely hard. So fucking, and it was the thing where it's like, you get the health bar down, and then it was like, oh wait, it's moving, and the health bar goes back up again. I'm like, fuck. So it was insanely hard. And then all of a sudden we're like, well, maybe if I beat it now, you can join in. Nope. So we tried that, and the game is just broken. Like, our save files are so corrupted and fucked. So finally he was like, well, we could play Elden Ring co-op. And I was like, dude, I tried Elden Ring, and I suck at the game. I don't have my mindset and play style are so bad for that. And then Lee said, yeah, Matt, I'm the same way. And I was like, but you love Elden Ring. He's like, yeah, but I use so many mods. And I was like, fine. Okay. Loaded it up with Adam, and I've been playing Elden Ring. I mean, it's fine. It's cool. I like the world, and everything that you said about how, like, Kentaro's, like, how much impact he has on that world is so apparent. And that is very cool.
Especially when you get to Caelid and you see it's just like the hell of the eclipse.
That's been the case for, like, all of Miyazaki's, like, dark fantasy stuff. Is he's like, I'm a big fan of Berserk.
Yeah, the hunter symbol from Bloodborne is
Yeah.
just the curse mark with the top chopped off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
So it just is.
It's the line that goes up with
and
the
then-
little points,
And then
but the two that go around that aren't there. But the bottom
but
two
the bottom. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
straight. Yeah, it's straight up just like, you're getting a little close to plagiarism here.
And so we've been doing seamless co-op, and it's fun. It was really funny. Adam and then a guy named Roman they were like, Roman was really big on, like, no, I'm gonna let Matt fight the boss fights. We're just gonna, like, be there to heal and support Matt. But that's it. Oh my gosh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's just upside down, and then it's like reversed, like it's flipped 180.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's funny. And so I beat who's the first one on the bridge? Godric? No.
The one on the bridge is what the fuck? Like that first
Morgott.
one.
Morgott. And then I beat Godric. And those were difficult fights. Yeah. Morgott was really difficult. And again, this is now stuff that's you guys already know, and now I'm finally going through. But he does this thing where Morgott will, like, have a normal attacks, and then on one attack he'll just wait.
He does these bullshit delays.
Yeah.
And then it's so
like that
absolutely
one. That was the one
bullshit.
that took me, like, I think I counted like 32 deaths.
Yeah, that one was. I
Like,
felt like that
Godric
one,
took me 6 times.
I
was
felt like
I'm
that
fine.
one was more difficult because Adam, he was like, all right, we're just gonna, like, I'm just gonna drop you some golden runes, and some smithing stones, and then we can just get you up to level like 20, and that'll feel fair. But we did Godric like at level 10, which he was like, that's pretty normal for you to like want to try to do that. Or not Godric, Morgott at 10, and then we did Godric at like 30. And that one felt easier just because I leveled up my weapons, and I just went with a samurai build. I thought I'd want to do big bonk.
Bro, you gonna get that bleed build going.
I thought I was going to want the big bonks and the gut sword, and it's like I probably still will want to try that, but like
you'll need your strength up pretty high.
Well, I'm just also like, I hate that I'm like sitting there doing a long swing and like waiting there.
I still think the best heavy, like great sword is Radahn's.
Yeah. Well, and the thing with great swords is it all depends on your stats. So if you have a high enough strength stat, that long-winded sword swing becomes a faster sword strike because your character can outwield it. So like it is a thing of like the higher the stat towards the weapon is, the better you are with it.
I do like, so the Ashes of War, I like have gotten a bunch, and Adam showed me like where to get some. The best one is just the one that you get with the katanas, which is the unsheath.
Oh, dude, that and then the spin one.
Yeah.
That one is crazy because you can straight up, if you can, I think, because I've seen the videos where someone will jump off a cliff and spin like all the way down into an enemy, and because you hit the enemy, you won't take any fall damage.
The one that I have on my offhand, because I'm dual wielding katanas, is the one that just summons the spectral blade.
Yeah, this shit's sick.
So yeah, it's cool. I'm just not like into it as much as I want to, and now that I have Mecha Break, it's like I told Adam, I was like, Saturday's the last day we're playing this game.
I mean, that's kind of the thing with Elden Ring is like, obviously you're doing a co-op mod, which if you enjoy it, cool. But like those games are intentionally designed to be like, beat your head against a wall, figure it out, and go. And so like when you're like dying to a boss over and over and over again, it is Morgott notwithstanding, it is just learn the timing, learn the things, like you're supposed to die. Like there's very, very rarely will you go to a boss fight and be like, I beat it in the first try. Yeah. Because that's not the point. They all have shit that is supposed to be like unfairly like whatever, because you're supposed to like learn. And like
at one point though, I think it was on Saturday night, it was Adam, Rafe, Roman, and I, so there was 4 of us like riding through, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Even though the hard part though is with seamless co-op, for each person it ups the boss by 100%. So the bosses now have
400% HP.
Yes. And so it's like if one of you die, it's just like, it's so bad. It's so like 2. No, you gotta reset.
Yeah.
You gotta reset. So yeah, that's Elden Ring. But
because I knew I was going to actually play it, I just wanted to at least get kind of a start on it before Yakuza, but I downloaded Avowed and I started trying it. And it's an Obsidian game like the Outer Worlds. So like if you enjoyed that, you probably just like Avowed.
I mean,
same shit.
Is it as goofy?
I did about the same.
Really? I mean, that's what I liked about Outer Worlds, was it was so goofy.
I mean, it definitely it takes itself a little more seriously.
To be fair, that would make it wouldn't fit to be as goofy. So you know.
Well, and this game is set in the Pillars of Eternity franchise, so it kind of has to stick to a tone. And from what I can tell, I've only played Pillars 1 and I didn't even finish it, so it kind of is in that same tone. There's characters who are kind of goofy, some characters are very serious. You'll do all that. The one thing though is it's for the first time in any of these games, like first person combat doesn't suck. Like I love Skyrim. Using a sword is not fun. That's why everybody just goes to stealth archer, because it feels satisfying to do it. Like my most recent Skyrim playthrough, I was like, I'm gonna do 2-handed weapons, and after a while, it literally was just me pressing the trigger over and over and over and over again.
Is okay in Skyrim.
It's just having to get to like leveling all that up, because your mana pool is so fucking useless.
Yeah.
This game straight up said fuck all that. You don't have a mana pool. You don't have arrows. All that. It's attack. So you have a stamina bar, or no, you do have a mana pool. Sorry, you have a stamina bar, and then an essence, which is your magic. So that's everything uses that. So every sword strike is a stamina part of the meter. Dodging, which you can just do full on like press.
But that's the same as Skyrim.
Yes, but you can still kind of, even when you're out of breath, you can still swing a sword and it still does damage. It's just less. This is, if you're out of stamina, you are winded and you stop. So you have to like manage it better. So it's a lot more technical. The magic system is way cooler because you can, you have a book. You have a wand and a book, and the book has preloaded spells in them that become like, oh, hold down the left trigger, hit a button, that's your spell you use, and then your wand is just a fling. You can you just fling it like it's like a gun basically. Yeah, fling spells it, or you can hold it and like do a giant one. I don't know why I'm doing these.
What is the
Wingardium Leviosa?
Yeah,
Swish and flick.
Swish and flick.
Swish and flick.
But so that's cool. But one thing that I like too is how characters actually react to getting hit by a fucking sword. Because in Skyrim they'll do that thing where they kind of go ugh, and still come at you. This one, if you hit them like full on, they like fucking like lean back like they got hit. Especially if you're using like a two-handed like hammer, this motherfucker's neck snapped to the right, and you're like, oh, they got hit. The combat's the best part of the game, which is kind of sad.
Do you think after Yakuza you're gonna go back to Avowed or back to Kingdom Come?
Kingdom Come's gonna be the game that I'm gonna continue playing kind of periodically through this year. I don't know if I'm gonna play Kingdom Come and Avowed at the same time because they're both first-person RPGs.
In somewhat.
In like a fantasy medieval style.
Yeah.
So
one
I probably
has magic, one doesn't.
Yeah.
But
So I don't
still
know.
medieval.
And as much as I am enjoying Avowed, I still think Kingdom Come's combat's more fun and engaging. Just because of how technical it is. And I'm
No,
now
use the word that I want you to use.
what?
Because of how now I can't remember.
Oh, monotonous.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Because of how monotonous it is.
Well, the combat isn't monotonous anymore. Because I figured it out.
What was I think the point was like real. How real?
Oh, realism. Yeah.
Realism. Because of the realism.
Well, it's not anymore. I've gotten like just straight up like I learned the Master Strike, which in it is if a character is coming at you from the right, if you instead of deflecting attack from the left when they attack, you deflect it and counter immediately, and it's the most broken thing in the game. But it's now I'm getting used to like watching the character's movements of, okay, where's the sword at? Where's this thing at? So I'm now just like, I want to get into fights. Beforehand, I'm like, no, I gotta stay back because I will die. Now I'm like, no, bring them. I want them all. I want all the smoke. And so I started like, Henry is now kitted out with like full armor because I just killed so many people where I'm like, give me that. I'm not high enough level for it all though because I'm getting winded way easier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm fucking loving it, and I finally went to the wedding after like 20 hours. But my blacksmithing skill is the highest level it can be because I just sat there and did blacksmithing for fucking 5 hours.
But don't you need like materials to blacksmith?
Yes, and I went out and found them.
Oh, okay.
Or I bought them. So like I would sell all the swords I made and just buy materials to make more shit. And it's funny because like doing a horseshoe, you actually have to hit the sides and like twist it.
Are there different materials or is it?
Yeah, like if there's one quest you have to do to make like the wedding present, which is getting actual like, because you have to go to this monk who is apparently a devil worshiper.
Uh-huh.
He's not. But he has like actual like, what was it, like Latin or Spanish steel or what? Because he's traveled the world type shit.
Uh-huh.
So he has like very hard like
yeah
durable steel, and so it's like your character is the son of a blacksmith, so he's like, oh fuck, like I would love to work on that shit. And so you go get that, and like doing that like gives you a way better sword. It opens up more materials you can get later. And so I've just been like finding materials, doing this. I've even like got like an all black ensemble outfit, so where at night I'm sneaking around stealing materials from people just to go back and blacksmith it out.
You menace.
It's been so much fun, and it gives me that same vibe like when playing Skyrim, where like you just have that moment where you're like, can this work? Can I do this? Like back in the day where you put the bucket over the person's head and just steal all their shit because they can't see you.
Yeah.
Like you kind of find where the game can kind of be broken and what it is.
Which also
done.
weirdly enough works in
Fallout 2, I think, right? Or no?
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because the way vision works is it's a cone, and if something is deflecting that cone, even if it's right up to their face, Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, oddly enough, yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably go back to Kingdom Come first before I go to Avowed, unless I'm just like because Avowed is way easier. And so if I want something simple, I might play that, like take a break from Kingdom Come. But yeah, Pirate Yakuza is where all my love and attention is going to right now. But yeah, Kingdom Come is definitely, as of right now, who knows how Monster Hunter's gonna go, or not Fable anymore, or GTA 6.
Monster Hunter is Friday.
Yeah, so right now Kingdom Come is my game of the year.
Cool.
But yeah, I GTA 6 hopefully comes this year. And then is there anything else really? It was Fable for us, but
Xenoblade X.
Yeah,
Xenoblade
it was
X.
Fable, now it's 2026.
I'm hoping that means early 2026 and not fucking November 2026 . But
No,
I mean,
that's
are you
definitely
gonna play
what
the
it
shit
means.
out of that game?
Fable, yeah, I fucking love Fable. So if it's good, I'll fucking all in.
When was the last one?
2011.
Yeah,
Well,
Fable, that's
technically,
Fable 3, right?
technically
Holy shit.
2012 because of a Connect game, but fuck that game.
Yeah.
Fable 3 was 2011, yeah, so it's been that long.
Dude, like 2 days ago, or maybe it was a little bit longer. It was probably over the weekend though. BJ handed me his Amber Nick. I said Amber Deck.
The Amber deck.
Yeah, the Amber Nick.
That's basically what it is now.
And yeah, and on it was Balatro.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, I got Balatro on there, Fallout 1 and Fallout 2.
Oh hell yeah! That would be interesting to see how that plays.
Dude,
in the
you
Amber
know
deck.
what you should have done also is it's the game, the strategy game that's like Advance Wars.
I don't know if they have a portmaster for it though.
But you know
'Cause
which one I'm talking about, where you're fighting your mechs are fighting the bugs.
Yeah.
That would work perfectly on that. I mean,
What's-
and it feels just like a Game Boy game.
It does.
I still want you to. Maybe I'll bring it over, but because I have Frontal Assault first.
You know what else you need to bring over?
Pad labor.
Thank you.
It's sitting on my desk, and I've been meaning to bring it. That and that other weird religious mech anime that I found at.
Do it.
No, whatever. I need to bring those. 'Cause I literally keep like the night before. I'm always like, all right, move it slightly to the right, so I know it's here, and then like I still just get up, grab my backpack, and walk the fucking
Today
around.
today and yesterday I was playing my Steam Deck at work because we were doing this building on Music Row, doing these condos that were like, it was almost been a year since they've been built, and so now the company that built the place is like, everything's still under warranty because you have a year, and now the building is like, hey, I need you to fix all these things before they're out of warranty. So they called us in to go fix all these door problems, and they're these just small studio condos that are like, one of them, a 1-bedroom, was like, that's not, I mean, it's a little bit longer than than the podcast room. So it's a bed, was $650,000. And like their most expensive one was like 1.2 mil, and
Wow.
it was a 3-bedroom, like little,
Small.
very small. And so we're doing those, and the problem is though, there's only, in the whole building, there's only like 2 permanent tenants. The rest are all Airbnbs.
Yeah.
And so we're like having to wait for people to check out. And so yesterday we like finished doing some stuff. He's like, all the rest check out at like 11 and 11:30 and 12. And we're like, well, it's like 9:45. I'm just gonna go sit in my car. Booted up Spider-Man. Did the same thing today. But there's this really uncomfortable thing that happened, where he was like, yeah, these people, like, I think they might be in here, but like we'll see if they'll let us in. And I was like, no, that makes me uncomfortable. So we like punch in the code, open the door, and there's stuff around.
Yeah, they clearly haven't left yet.
And there's been a couple that have been like, oh, there are people staying there, but they said, like, the Airbnb owner said, but they said they'd be out of the place from this time to this time. You know, when we walked in, we saw suitcases and stuff. This one, it was like, there was just, all the lights were off. There was some shoes down. There was like a receipt crumpled up on the counter, and like some other stuff. And I was like, from the get-go, I've just felt, I was like, there's people inside here right now. So we're going through.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. All of the doors, the bedroom doors and bathroom doors, were all closed. And I was like,
Yeah, you're going to open one of those to someone naked.
So we, in there, and then Nick was like, I don't want to open. I was like, I'm your boss. I'm telling you to open this door. And then he was like, no. And I said, okay, you open this door. I open this door. And then he was like, okay, fine. And I was like, cool. And so as I go to open this, I hear a, I was like, oh fuck, there's a person here. And then like I hear more coughs, and then like a dude's voice going like, oh, and I was like, we gotta get the fuck out of here right now. It was so uncomfortable. And so then we go through it, and again, it's like, and now after 11, he was like, they should be awake by now, or gone. And I was like, dude, no, this isn't happening today. So then he goes in there by himself, the guy who's showing, like fixing stuff. Mm-hmm. He goes in there by himself, and Nick and I are like, He comes out and he goes, yeah, they just flew in from Australia like this morning. It's not going to happen today. And I was like, that conversation must have been crazy, because I bet they were still in bed. He's going in there, this random dude that's like, hey, howdy y'all, we're here to fix your doors and some other stuff around. It was wild. Absolutely wild.
That's what it's like every fucking day at the hotel.
What?
That's what it's like every fucking day at the hotel.
Do you really have to be entering people's...
Yeah, because they're always like, we don't know if they checked out or not. So they send fucking front desk to go check them. And then what I always do is I'll knock one time, I'll say front desk, I'll knock again, and then I'll go knock one more time, and I'll go front desk coming in. I'll open the door. If I see anything that is definitely a personal item, I'm shutting the door.
Yeah.
Well,
so this isn't the first time this is kind of situation.
I did walk in on a guy taking a shit one time.
Really?
Yeah, because the bathroom door is right next to the room door.
Yeah, of course.
So I walk in and I go, and he goes, ah!
You saw him on the toilet?
Yeah.
That's happened a couple times to me in a Porter John, where I've forgotten to lock the door and some Mexican has opened it up, and I've been like, oh, and he's going, oh.
No, I mean, hey, they know what no means, so you just go, no.
And so we did this other hotel in Murfreesboro where like it was just butchered, the doors in this place. So I go in to fix this. They give me a sheet of like, here are all the rooms that need stuff fixed in it, and I was like, okay. So I start going through, and I open a door, and they're like, yeah, they should all be empty, because they need work on them. And so I open a door, and there's like a dad and like two kids, and I just open. I don't even knock. I like let myself in, and he was like, and I was mortified. I thought I would have felt so violated in that moment, just having a random dude waltz his way in there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm so sorry, we're doing maintenance. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, oh okay. He didn't really respond, so I closed the door. And so I'm going through, and then I open it. I now started like knocking and stuff like that. Open up, go in, and the room's like all dark. And I was like, oh, this looks like a vacant room. And I kind of scroll, like, because it's the same thing. The bathroom's right there. And then
then there's like a little bit of a hallway, and the bed is recessed.
Yeah, exactly. So I go and I see the foot of the bed, and it looks made. And I was like, perfect. As I walk in, and more of the room is being exposed, I see a suitcase, and I was like, oh. And then I see an old woman sleeping in the bed, like on top of the made bed, asleep, like a grandma. And I was like, ah! And I went to the front desk, and I was like, I need a list of people in rooms so I can cross-check them with what I have to do. I'm done.
You know what's crazy is that's super fucking easy to print. You just go into the menu and say what rooms are vacant.
Yeah. And so then I like had to then spend 5 minutes like lining them up to see these are the rooms I can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, very uncomfortable.
Yep. It'd be like that.
Mm-hmm.
I after I set up MU Deck on your Steam Deck and I saw you playing Dissidia, I was like, I got the itch.
Yep.
So when it snowed and I was stuck at the hotel, I just booted it up on mine. I started playing it, and I did the story mode for the first time since I was like a kid. And I realized that Garland, the villain for Final Fantasy 1, is voiced by Kyoichi. And I was like, that's fucking All Might.
Yep, same voice.
It's crazy because I never would have realized as a kid because I hadn't seen anything that he'd been in at that point. But now I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. Do you think if they ever do another Dissidia, do they give him or Jack?
I would say it's probably him because I don't think they want to confirm or deny that Stranger in Paradise is canon.
Well, that's the thing is like Jack was like arguably the best part of that game. Like the story without Jack is just generic like Final Fantasy bullshit. Jack is the
but
most
Jack is
fun
also
part.
walking around calling people faggots and listening to Linkin Park.
That's still the funniest bit where he just says bullshit.
Speaking of that,
Starts
there
to
are 93% of you who aren't subscribed. To be fair, we've been getting a lot of hits on our videos recently. So, subscribe. subscribe for that.
see more
Also,
of
on
these hits.
Spotify, I learned the majority of our listeners are women. So, welcome, women.
Welcome, women.
Welcome, women.
Hello to all women.
Yes, hello.
There's
We're hopeless.
Yeah. Shocker that Matt's married.
Yeah,
don't know how to speak anymore if it's to women.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, all the rest of the podcast.
That's
Just,
why I secured it when I was young.
We have free pads and makeup removers in the corner. So, do your thing,
Yeah. Do you.
Do you?
Boo boo.
queen.
And we lost all of them.
And there they go.
And there,
It's down. The
Subtract
analytics are
our
now.
figures.
yeah.
And now the 3 dudes who listen are now the only listeners now.
Yeah, that's right.
Ugh. Oh,
Whoa. You good?
I had a sandwich on my way here, and it was a
A big one?
what was like a barbecue kind of pulled pork sandwich. That came up, and I you burp and you kind of smell it again. I was like, whew.
The worst is with hot dogs.
Oh yeah, no. 'cause
Hot dog breath is pretty bad.
legitimately terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. No, yeah, that's probably the worst. I don't know, because most things like you eat, you kind of get that burp back, and you're kind of, oh yeah, no, still good. Like, I feel
will
like
say,
but hot dog is bad.
Yeah. You can also get like some like hot or spicy ones if you're eating like hot ramen.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's the hot.
kind of makes your nose like water.
You're
Make
like,
you go,
oh.
oh fuck.
Yeah. Flares up the nostrils.
Hello, women. How do you like these topics?
Today we're going to be talking about burps.
Farts, shit, and piss.
Sorry, women.
on a better topic, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yeah, women like Majima.
They do.
The
lot.
the first thing that I did when I was able to change clothes is I changed into the Cabaret Grand with the ponytail.
Oh, the classic.
Yeah.
I think the only
his peak.
I mean, character development wise, yes.
I think his best look though is still. I love the Mad.
You don't think his best look is
that
Grand
suit in
Tux?
3 kind of clean though. The red.
It's all right.
I like that suit though. I do. I think just his most iconic to me is the snakeskin jacket, the leather pants, and the fucking dress shoes.
Yeah, especially after he beefs up.
Yeah, like that's the when he goes from scrawny like gross to like oh shit he's shredded. Yeah.
But I still like Grand
Oh no, to be fair,
Majima is
it's really funny to like play Zero and like or at least think about Zero now with like all the context of the rest of the series. They go, huh, this must have been weird for people who grew up with the series. You go, that's Majima? He looks nice.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, that like dickhead weirdo who stalks Kiryu on the street and has a construction company.
I think I figured it out. The best thing about the Yakuza 0 look for Majima is the long hair. Because in Pirate Yakuza, they have a bunch of different hairstyles. And the ponytail is one of them, but they have one where his hair is down. And it looks incredible.
it might be the pony, but I don't know. He looks. Yeah, it might be also the reminiscing of just his character.
Did he have the facial hair in Zero too? The same.
He was like more clean shaven.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of stubble.
Yeah, because now he just has.
He didn't have anything.
I don't
He was-
think.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
clean.
Because
clean
yeah,
face.
now he has like the beard, kind of like all just the mustache, the beard here, and whatever.
Yeah, like the goatee kind
Yeah.
of thing. You can change the facial hair too. The cosmetics in Pirate Yakuza are crazy.
I like that it's now just a thing you can just. I love it. They're just adding this like fuck it, change the clothes. Who cares?
Yeah.
'Cause
It's also nice because it's like you have 2 outfits and you change between them for each style.
Yeah. Although to be fair, I really fuck with his pirate coat. Where I don't think I want to change it. I've changed his. Like right now, it's very little changes, but I gave him his old pants back. Still, I gave him like more like, I guess for Hawaii, like casual shoes. But then I'm still rocking the open.
Yeah,
Hawaiian
that golden
shirt.
Hawaiian shirt that they give him is very peak. for
I
the
did.
Hawaiian
I was
look.
when he was there. I was just like, I don't like his weird drawstring pants and the sandals.
Yeah, there's ripped jeans that you can get that look really good, and then I found some Converse.
Yeah, I've got like the Converse looking ones, his regular leather pants, and then I put fingerless gloves on them.
I did the fingerless
Yeah.
gloves too.
And so I just noticed because I guess in my head I'm like, oh, it's just for the stats. All the rings are on too.
Yeah,
I was like, that's cool.
they also have
Yeah, Majima only had the only thing he had a shadow of a mustache.
Yeah.
in the Grand, but that's it.
You can decorate the ship to be like the Grand, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's nice.
Right now, I've got like a bunch of like Japanese lantern festival stuff going on. Like the sides of my ship are all lanterns. It's black and gold, and then it has like some black and gold fortune.
Why doesn't Yakuza do? Because I think it could be the very best minigame in the entire series if they did a diner, like kind of like what was the Diner Dash?
Yeah.
Or like the mini game, or not the mini game, the one half of the game Dave the Diver.
Yeah.
Like if you were able to manage a restaurant, I mean, it would be essentially just like Real Estate Royale, where you manage your employees and then
Did you ever play the Cabaret? Because that's a lot closer to what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Cabaret is just that.
I mean, yes, I did.
Yeah. Did you beat those to get the legend moves? Okay.
No, I just was like, I need to finish this game.
Yeah.
I did beat Real Estate Royale though.
So you did get
so much time.
You did get the dragon fighting style.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
one was easy to beat. I would just like
because you just
anytime
run around, beat the shit out of people, get money, and then buy stuff, and then go back, and it's like it was a lot easier. Whereas Cabaret is definitely more of a. I think Cabaret is
you
more
didn't
of a
even
time
have to
sink.
run around and beat up people. You just, or you mean like where they were like, oh, this place is under attack, go beat them. I thought you were talking about beating up randos.
No, because
the only thing you have to do is just wait for money to come in.
Yeah.
Because the Cabaret definitely was more, I feel like, a time sink of like.
Yeah, because you can't do it like passively.
Yeah, like.
But I just think
real
a
estate,
Diner
you could
Dash
dip
with
out.
like with Yakuza stuff, where it's like you're cutting up sushi rolls and you're having to do a couple like QTEs and like.
I think
that's you don't serve it to anybody, but that's what the cooking mini game is in this one.
Yeah,
but doing like managing employee, I think that would do so well.
Ironically, I think that would work really well for the Judgment Crew.
Or for Zhao.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that would work. Zhao
just runs a Chinese restaurant now.
Yeah, canonically. I just think it'd be really funny to see, like, oh, in the middle of this detective noir story, Yagami, Kaito, and the other ones have to manage
they're gonna go work at McDonald's.
Yeah.
So with how far you guys have gotten in, where do you think that this kind of stacks up to other Yakuza games?
I mean,
especially
now,
because, like, sorry to interject, especially because a lot of the other games were very much Kiryu stories, and then and not saying that the what was the last one?
the man who sold his name.
Yeah, the man who sold his name. That was the one in Hawaii as well.
No, that one was
Kiryu's side story where he was between 7 and 8.
Oh, but that was just his side story. That was actually.
I mean, it's technically mainline canon, but like. It's a shorter game.
Well,
but Gaiden means side story, so it's not as big.
So, but like in other games that are very Kiryu
Holy fuck!
heavy,
That's why Ninja Gaiden is called that from Dead or Alive. Oh, that's crazy.
Yep.
Okay, I'm stupid.
Where does it kind of like, stack up being a Majima story?
The best thing that I can compare it to is this is the Metal Gear Rising of the Yakuza series.
Okay.
It takes place after the whole canon. Not nearly as serious. It's about the secondary side character. Like the gameplay is fucking peak. They very committed to the whole like RPG thing.
Because what I feel like hearing you guys talk is that a lot of these games, what keeps you going, even though it's like all these mini games are really fun, but it's what keeps you going are like the stories, because you want to see how this crazy story, because to be fair, how it's written, there's just like twists and turns everywhere.
It's just a constant crime drama.
Yeah,
every game is a different season.
And now
basically.
having like these other kind of one-offs that are like, it's a different vibe, but in the same kind of in the same world. So I'm just like kind of curious of like how it feels playing this game.
I mean, this one leans in more like Infinite Wealth and Like a Dragon, where it's like it's more of a 60-40 crazy and serious versus the normal 40 60, where like Pirate Yakuza is wearing the fact that it's a pirate game on its sleeve. Like it is objectively goofy with like a kind of serious story.
Yeah.
But like it is way more interested in just being fun.
Yeah.
Whereas like
but I'm saying, but I think the question is then knowing that, because that's kind
Yeah.
of the vibes, knowing that, where, like, how does that kind of stack up in the lineup of Yakuza games for you?
For me, it's
Does that bode well?
it's pretty high. Just it's not in the greats. Like for me,
Okay, yeah.
It's got some of the best gameplay of the
All
whole
of that,
series.
that again,
Yeah.
is like all of that kind of what I was talking is just to kind of get where your
like,
ranking is.
for me, like my favorite, like top 3 is Zero, Lost Judgment, and Gaiden. Those 3, in terms of gameplay, story, and like everything, I was like, these are the fucking peak.
Yeah.
And then after that, I go into like 6, 7, Kwame 2, and then I put 8.
No love for 5.
I'm not the biggest fan of 5
What the
comparatively, especially
Is that
because
the Saijima one?
no, well,
Sajima
yes,
is in
but
that
of
one
them.
as a playable
That's the
character.
Haruka idol minigame where Akiyama is just kind of there.
Because they were too cowardly to let Haruka beat some
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
She should. I was watching a video where someone's going through that, and he hates the Haruka section. But he was like,
Coward.
yeah, absolutely, it's arguably peak. But he was like, she should have just like, hey, you know that time I got bitch slapped by Mine? I didn't like that feeling. So I kind of want to like get better. And my dad fights. Let me. He won't. He obviously is not going to teach me. So let me go do it myself. And that's how she interjects with Akiyama, where he's kind of like, let me like help you so you don't kill
Yeah,
yourself.
because his like whole kicking and juggling thing would be perfect for her as a dancer.
So I think that would work because he kind of teaches her dance shit anyway. Like I just think for the most part 5 story is really good, except it really shits the bed at the end where it's like all this crazy stuff. Who's the final boss? And he's like, I just wanted to be a really good Yakuza. And I'm like, go fuck yourself.
But like the whole thing about 5 is more than being a Yakuza game. It's a snapshot of what Japan was like the year it came out, and that's why I really enjoy it for the most part. That and then Kiryu's side of the whole thing.
I think Kiryu's story is the best one, objectively. But like 5 is like the again. I don't think there's, with the exception of Dead Souls, I don't think there's a bad Yakuza game. I think there's ones that I definitely don't really want to play again, like 3. But like 4 and 5 are kind of interchangeable, where it's like they're both really good. I have my problems, especially, and both of them, to an extent, are final boss related. Because fuck 4's final boss. Oh my gosh. But
You know
like,
what? This is very unrelated, but it is related to me because
yeah.
of ADHD. But like me asking you these questions about the game kind of put me in like, you know, reminded me of when we have to do interviews for MTAC. And what I had realized earlier is that why I kind of get so uncomfortable, I mean, why it's kind of weird for me during those interviews is because I have to come up with a question that like, you know, that's obviously not dumb and one they've heard all the time. But then it's like I just sit back and listen, and not an organic. What I wish I could do
is just have a conversation.
is have a podcast with them.
Yeah.
Just be able to talk, riff back and forth, and it's like that. Again, with John just sitting there quietly, and I want to being like, yeah, totally. Oh, I had this experience.
I
this.
agree.
It's just so foreign.
We're definitely better. Like John and Basil get the interview thing way better than we do.
Yes.
Whereas we definitely are more of like sit down.
But that's
chat,
also
shoot the
kind of
shit.
why I don't fuck with like actual interviews. Like even if it's from people that I like, it's like I don't.
I would
want
much
to hear...
rather see like Theo Vaughn on a podcast than an interview with Theo Vaughn.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. It's like, yeah. Why do I care that them asking like? Even though I will say like Hot Ones with Sean Evans,
But that's more of a podcast in itself. Also,
almost.
it's just shorter.
Well, like I would say too.
Yeah,
like,
but the whole thing is though he asks a question and then the person.
But to be
answers
fair,
it.
they're also like really very in-depth questions where even they're like, "What the fuck? That's wow."
I mean, yes, that's why he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
But it is. I would classify it as an interview because
well, like
it is.
I don't think I could sit
question,
down and sit like a 15-minute interview, but like those like you know those quick red carpet like IGN things where it's like, "Hey, we know that you're here to do this movie and stuff like that, but like real quick." Like top 3 video games go, and it's like you occasionally get like, oh, I don't play video games, whatever. But then you get like the
But
one.
to our credit, we come up with good, intriguing questions.
Yeah, but I
and
feel
some
like
people are just assholes.
and,
Yeah.
and dumb.
yeah,
That's what I've really come up with is that I'm expecting a lot of these people that I don't
to
think
have
I-
some kind of insight, and they just don't.
and I think I'm expecting too much of these people that
Yeah.
are just. I mean, this is a hot take that are really just like not that interesting people. Like
Yeah.
that's where it really is like, oh, maybe this B-list voice actor, even though in their world they're very highly regarded, but like,
But it's just a guy.
yeah,
I think there's a level of like you kind of forget because like we like hear these voices in anime all the time and you're like holy fuck and then
I don't want.
and then it's like oh yeah
to
they're just
listen
like
to them at a panel where they just talk about.
Fucking dogs.
Or I mean, to be fair, that was more interesting. It's because of these panels. It's just they just talk about the show, which is more interesting than them voice acting.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. The show that they voice act in is way better. Them talking about it, not that interesting.
I mean,
I think that's the problem, like what you were saying, where it's like an interview is going to be about the show, about kind of the thing there. Whereas like if they got to sit down and do a podcast and just shoot the shit, that's going to be way more fun because it's like, yeah,
fun.
they're just going to sit down and like talk.
That
Versus
was-
like, here, let me talk about fucking Attack on Titan final season. So you've been doing this for so long. Like, how does it feel to? And it's like versus you go, yo, dude, like, welcome to the thing. Like, let's just shoot the shit, whatever. Talk about whatever you want. And like, you can just tangent, do whatever. You can talk about shit that's topical, but you can also just be like, fuck it.
Well, nobody except for me and like 15 other people in the world will ever have had this experience. But watching the Quentin Flynn panel at Multicon was very much like a podcast because they didn't have a handler up there. It was just, you know, the voice actors shooting the shit. And they're like, well, I guess this is everybody that's going to be here. Like, what the fuck have you guys been up to kind of thing. And then they would just naturally roll into their experiences on sets and stuff like that. And that's way more intriguing.
yeah,
Because I think you're kind of expecting
Me and
the
15
like.
other people would get.
Well, I think the thing with an interview is you're expecting like a PR answer. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of
Yeah.
just like, oh, you know,
Well, it's always the same thing. It's like, oh, like, what? How's this? What are you doing? It's just like, no, like, you know, like, I don't care.
like yeah, and like and to be fair, I do like.
Ass or tits.
I mean, I'd much rather ask would be like, what was the most traumatic experience in your life, and maybe we can talk about it.
Yeah, but then you get some people,
Be
like
like,
the ones that we've interviewed, they're like, I'm not going to answer that. That's too personal.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, fuck you then.
yeah.
Like I enjoy like what we do, especially, and I love the like getting to go to MTech and do this. But like I definitely would prefer just like, yo, like let's sit down for like an hour. And just
Especially
shoot
if
shit.
it was just like if it was the same amount of time, 30 minutes, and we just got to talk about, like, hey, what was like transformational material for you as a child? That would actually be a good question.
That's a great question.
But
write that
you
down,
need to
write
add that in.
for me to be able to
Write
like,
that down, write that down.
but for me to
Women,
be
write
able
it down.
to answer it back as well. And I know that sounds like self-centered, but it has to do with like
I
kind
much
of
prefer
what-
having a conversation.
well,
Versus,
it has to do with just human connection. It has to do with like you're being able to listen, you getting to relate. Is watching that unfold is way more interesting than one-sided.
I agree, because then it's also beneficial for both parties, because in a way it's like you're getting to know them and you're getting to know the person that is putting this whole thing on.
Yeah.
People are going to get to know these people and want to check out the work of the person being interviewed and the people that are doing it because they like the personalities.
I think it's why you're seeing a lot more of those like you know, like the GQ, like this is what I bring with me everywhere type shit.
Yeah.
Where it's literally just the person going like, yeah, no, this cologne, my dad gave me this back when I was a kid, and I've had this thing all the. And it's like little snippets into their lives where they can talk about that. We're like, oh yeah, this like I have this journal. I always write shit
Or
in
like,
there.
Dude,
they
bring
say,
back
like,
cribs.
I'm
Yeah,
extremely like, you know, OCD, and so I have to have it. And you're like, oh, I didn't know this about
Yeah,
this
like
person.
it's things like that where like you kind of like what's the sneaker shopping show on Complex where it's like, fuck it, like they interview them, but then they also like, yo, like it's a very like specific thing where it's like, what is your history with shoes? Like, what do you care about this shit? And then they will bring up like, yo, like my
And then
granddad.
at the end, they're like, all right, the bill's like $2,700.
Here's my card.
No, dude,
you're
my
like-
my favorite I've seen of that. I haven't seen the actual episode, but what is it? The British rapper Central C, where he was like, "You're paying that much for this piece of shit?" He's like, "No, those are classics," and he's like, and I'm like, I like that. Fuck yeah, because all those shoes
Yeah,
on
he's
that
not
wall.
trying to flex.
Well, because he's over here just be like, I think he even said he's like, I'll take a pair of Converse over like half of this shit. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't get it. Like he's a rapper, but he's like he doesn't like try to flex the shoe game. He's like, I don't get this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with you because I think the personal connection thing is more important, and I think that's why I think traditional interviews are kind of dying in a way. Like you still have them because like they're gonna be easy to watch.
I mean, it's definitely a mainstay of like
it's old media
press,
shit.
of press.
Yeah, but I like that we're in the era of podcasting and like creative like things like even the This Is Actually Me thing where they like go online and answer just basic questions. They can like bring shit up or like seeing it, and I don't think Bert Kreischer's a good interviewer, but seeing Matthew McConaughey with him and Tom Segura was kind of cool. Where I was like, oh yeah, it's Matthew McConaughey just talking shit on a podcast for 2 hours versus his like hella PR answered like interview about the movie he's working on versus like they brought up Tiptoes, and straight up I think it was
I need to find that.
It was
That's how I learned about it.
It was was it Bert who knew about it or Segura?
No, Segura.
Yeah, and Bert was like, "There's no way this is real," and Matthew and Tom were like, "Yep, it's real," and it like because they explained it where it's like, "Yeah, so you're the brother of a midget played by
Gary Oldman, who's not a midget,
And I'm like, oh, and like yeah. It was after we watched it, I got that TikTok like immediately after. And I was like, oh my God. Like that's way funnier and way more entertaining than like...
Yeah, because no one's like pointing a gun at the back of his head like, answer.
Yeah,
He's
like...
just like, oh yeah,
it's
maybe
the same,
not so great.
It's the same with Hot Ones. Like, yeah, it's still the interview thing. But like, they're not going to be trained in PR answers when they have hot sauce in their mouth going, fuck!
The hot sauce is also good because it's disarming.
Yeah. Like everybody who's been on that, like even if it's like I don't really give a fuck about like their career, like I've watched some sports ones where like even they'll bring up like oh yeah, so you used to play like ball at this this local thing, and it did get like renovated recently, like how like then they'll talk about like oh yeah when I was a kid all this, like that's more entertaining than just so yeah how did it feel to work with this director.
I will say though there has to be like interviews can be good, but there has to be some sort
if
of
they're done by Nardwuar.
That's I was just about to say.
Yes.
Like if there's
the interviewer,
so like Sean Evans' Hot One, there's a mix in it too, and Nardwuar is just
Nardwar's great,
incredible.
How the fuck you know that?
Yeah.
Dude, I love everyone. What's the? Oh, it wasn't Offset. It was like, yo, you got spies everywhere. What the fuck?
Probably.
Yeah.
I love like, and I like how he'll like lead them into it where they'll finish and they go,
I mean, I think
they realize halfway through.
Like I think what happens is like Nardwuar reaches out to somebody on their team.
Yeah, like their mom or some shit.
Well, and then they get their mom's contact. Like they're like, hey, can you give me his mom's number? And you're like, yeah, or like.
And he's been doing it for so long that I feel like they probably know who Nardwuar is.
No,
like,
I don't know because there's been times I forgot who it was, and I wish I did so I could put him on blast. But there's this one rapper that was like leaving some venue, and Nardwuar like had like a thing with him, like a gift because he always gives people gifts, and then like his microphone, and they were getting in the car, and he was like, "Hey, it's me, Nardwuar. I have this gift for you." And the guy was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" pushing away, and he's like, "Please, I just want like to talk to you for just a second." It's like, who the fuck would tell off Nardwuar?
Yeah,
dude, the Tyler the Creator interviews with Nardwuar are some of my favorite because Tyler fucks with Nardwuar.
He loves
hard.
Nardwuar.
Yeah. Also, just Tyler's so interesting. Like going from like shock rap, just to be like, yeah, I'm gonna say the most fucked up shit to get a reaction to like. Legitimately like
a good
oh fuck this is really good writing, really good music,
producing.
Yeah, like Igor and Chromacopia are some banger albums.
You make an earthquake.
I've been really into Sticky.
Sticky's such a good song.
Yeah,
I get why, because he even said it's like it's supposed to be like the lunchroom like bit where it's like you have like 30 seconds go. I needed more from Glorilla and Wayne.
Yeah, me too.
Both of them needed a longer verse. Sexy Red could sure whatever, you stay there. But like dude, Wayne needed a longer verse and Glorilla needed a longer verse.
I agree.
Holy fuck. That song is great. But and then Tyler like switched up twice where I didn't realize it was Tyler in the middle. And I was like, "Oh fuck." I was like, "That's great."
Yeah. Tyler's amazing.
I wanted to.
Is it this weekend that Cody's going to be in town?
yes.
Let's go.
So probably Saturday is when we can go out. I was telling him on Tuesday, I was like, I'm planning on getting fucked up because I know we're probably not going to watch a movie. I've said we're going to do 2 podcasts. Yeah. It's going to be essentially, I was like, it's going to be the thing that happened with Nate.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we're going to start off with Warhammer, and then we're going to go into a second, just a normal shoot the shit podcast, and whatever comes up is whatever we're talking about. And then I was like, I'll make dinner.
What's gonna happen is,
and then I said I will probably be so fucked up I won't be able to drive you home, so I'll order you an Uber. And he's like, "Bitch, you won't let me sleep over." And I was like, "Bitch, you can sleep. You can stay here the whole week. You're kind of far from everyone else."
Yeah.
And so he might sleep over. Actually, that probably would be better for him, just sleeping over and then
Just waking up the next morning
and then
going.
ordering him Uber. I mean, and if he's an early riser, I could just drive him to Nashville on my way to work.
Yeah.
And drop him off at Billy's house, because I think that's who he's staying with, is Billy. I don't think he's staying with Lee, but yeah, I think it's Billy.
I think
'Cause
somebody
Billy kind
needs
of
to stay
helped
with Lee.
coordinated. I do too. He hasn't been on Discord for a while.
Yeah.
Well, he does, but it's just
He just kind of gets on and kind of like passively is in.
I mean, the past 2 weekends, I've been like, "Hey, Matt, what's up with Lee? Like, should we go see him?"
we should. I think we're gonna see him on Saturday though.
Definitely.
Good.
I think because Cody is bringing he's been painting kill teams, which is Warhammer's. Thank you.
They're like smaller.
Yeah, so they're they're 6 figures.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be like 30-minute missions. And so he's
That
painting,
sounds so much more accessible.
it is.
Yeah,
And
way
so
better.
he has, I think, 5 kill teams, and Cyrus, who is Kyle's roommate, has
I remember.
a resin printer, and he's been printing kill teams as well. Because Cyrus has built people armies, Warhammer armies on his resin
Lee told me
printer.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Sorry, go ahead.
So anyways, so he's painting kill teams. He says he's not gonna have them like fully completed, but they'll have like base plate and basic painting.
Just enough to like play something real quick.
I mean, to be fair, I would play without painted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. But he's bringing, I think, 5 kill teams that we're gonna be playing with. So that might be something. But I think it's just gonna be an all day Saturday thing.
I
Fully expecting you to start printing kill teams now.
I mean, if I like it, then yeah.
I'm
Especially 30 minutes. Again, it's like something me and you could be like,
Yeah, you want to run one real quick?
yeah. I'll
Well,
beat your ass, you
that's
go,
literally the
I'll
same thing
fucking
as
show you.
that's like the same thing as going. You want to play a quick match of Yu-Gi-Oh or some shit? Like way easier, way whatever.
It's not as much of a time commitment.
Oh, now I wanted to bring this up before we switch to this for Yakuza. So I know you're playing Japanese.
Yes.
I'm playing in English. First of all, thank God Kiryu's not in this game.
Yeah.
For that reason.
Fuck you, y'all.
Yeah. Again, I think if they ever gave Zero a dub, I think he could do a better young Kiryu, because he wouldn't have to like deepen his voice on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely think if he just talked normally, like, yeah, that's a young Japanese man.
For Zero, I think he could do it.
And
Matt
then-
Mercer can do Majima
Dude,
all day long.
No, brother, it's the best shit, and Matt can sing. So that's the thing. And again, it is one of those things where like the songs that I already know, like 24 Hour Cinderella and Get to the Top, better in Japanese because that's what I know them as.
Yeah.
But still, not a bad like translation, and like Matt just sings well. But the ones where it's clear they wrote these with the intention of both, like Chitose's Honolulu City Lights song, where it's like they wrote it both ways so it works. It's like that. So all the new ones, fucking, he kills it. And I'm like,
because I do have plans to switch over just to try karaoke at some point.
24 Hour Cinderella is weird because you're so used to it, but it was a thing where I'm like, all right, let me like, because the first thing I did was I switched to Japanese to do the karaoke's, and I went, let me give Matt Mercer some credit. And again, barring the fact that I'm so used to Get to the Top and 24 Hour as just the Japanese voice actor going absolutely bananas, especially in Get to the Top.
Yeah.
Matt Mercer does a great fucking job, genuinely. And I knew he had like some singing things, but like he's a legitimately good singer. To where like I was like, oh, I don't hate, like, unlike 8 where they
what was he
overuse
singing? Oh,
all the
Majima.
Majima, like both 24 Hour Cinderella and Get to the Top, which are old ones, and then all the new ones. It's like with there's Chitose, and I believe one more song was made specific for Infinite Wealth, where they wrote it with English and Japanese in mind, so it kind of works both ways. There's new Majima songs that are way better in English because they're written that way, versus like 24 Hour Cinderella has had lyrics for whenever fucking Zero came out, and they're now translating it. So it definitely feels weird hearing Matt Mercer sing it in English, where I'm like, I Like, it's good. That's for the Japanese. But, like, the ones where they wrote it for this game, Matt does a great job singing it because it's just, they wrote it in English and in Japanese versus, yeah. But he does a great job. Like, he's hitting those, because you obviously saw him in both. Well, you didn't know because you played it in English. Never mind. But Matt will go from, like, his kind of a, like, crazier version of his normal voice.
Wait, you're playing it in Japanese?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then he's hitting the same cadence when he's doing the laughs.
You
Yeah, he was like, of course.
Obviously.
yeah.
The problem,
Not like this asshole
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
To my right.
the problem I have is that, like, if a game doesn't have it, I'll still play it. Like Yakuza was like, it doesn't have a dub, so I'm like, I don't care, I'll play it.
Yeah.
The second it has a dub, it's immediately going English. I don't know why I have that problem. I'm gonna default.
Not
to
after
English.
I've gone 8 games with this cast.
Oh no, I will, like, that cast doesn't exist to me if there's an English dub.
Wow.
Insane.
I will switch immediately, which I did. I've never
I'm sure
played.
you wouldn't care about Yakuza if Yang had been doing Yakuza 0 through 6.
No, I probably still would have played it. But to be fair, I don't know how old that motherfucker was, so maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things where I'll do it and everything. Like, I don't know. I just would rather a game just be in English versus whatever the native tongue is. I'm like, nah, I just rather, because it's the ADD where I'll be like, fuck, I want to look away right the fuck now. And if it's in Japanese, I cannot do that.
But that's not true for a game.
There's fucking cutscenes that I can't.
That you can pause in Yakuza.
And
I'm not
why would
pausing.
you look away from a cutscene?
Sometimes they're just boring exposition cutscenes, and I can listen and just do something else.
Wow.
Dude, the fucking cutscene in Yakuza 3, where they just sit down for an hour to go, so here's the entire plot of this. God dang it, I wish that was in English.
The entire plot of, like, the last game.
No, just the whole thing of 3. They literally just explain the government conspiracy in a sit down. And it's like, I'm literally like spamming the A button, like, dude, fuck it, I get it. I hated that part in Yakuza 3.
Well, they'll probably dub Kiwami 3. So
I don't know if they will, because I feel like at that point, I mean, maybe, but at that point, why not dub? Then why not go back? I guess you could update them, maybe, but like, you have Kiwami, like you have 0, Kiwami 1 and 2 still in Japanese. Why would you go, here's 3 and then 4 is still in Japanese? You know what I mean?
because now they're committed to dubbing.
I guess, but like,
That's the only reason.
and with the exception of Yang, the dubs are like Persona level good, where it's like, oh, these are like legitimately good voice acting and like everything. I do think the Japanese dub for Ichiban is great. I'm just so used to Kenji Tang doing it that like that's Ichiban in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like same with Judgment, I played that exclusively in English. Where like I'm sure
I played Judgment in English because I don't know any of these motherfuckers. I can handle it.
which I've gone and looked at cutscenes for both. Yeah, the Japanese dub is still really good, but like in my head, Greg Chun does Yagami way better.
Kaito's English VA might be better too.
Yeah, and like the rest of them just kind of fit. And then what was it? Was it Matt Mercer as the mole, Kuroiwa?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Was that his name? Kuroiwa.
Kuroiwa is somebody in that game. I just haven't played it in a while.
Yeah, the mole. I'm pretty sure it was Mercer. But yeah,
So
good game.
I have recently updated our letterboxd, and we have 101 films.
Hell yeah.
Which we have way more.
100%. But like, we'll just periodically go. Hey,
We
had
might
that
even
one.
have like 80 more that we just aren't remembering.
Yeah,
It's that many.
I wouldn't
more.
put it past us.
What was okay? Last week we watched 1917. What did we watch 2 weeks ago? Luke?
The Japanese thing, the anime.
And we watched something else after that though, because that was only.
Well,
an
we
hour
watched.
and 20.
Well, no, Invincible was last week, right? Yeah, because last
Yes.
week was the snow. So
Yeah, because we started watching Invincible, and since it wasn't something that Matt picked, he was like, "We're changing it to something else."
bro, what
It's
it?
true.
Yeah,
Sure, I did that.
what I love how this most recent saga of us is just. What did Matt do that we can shit on?
Yeah. Other than showing you peak cinema, but fuck me, I guess.
Peak Cinema with the fucking mech titties.
Bro, okay.
What? Now you're conflating the movies to a game I was playing recently.
No, I have to bring that up because that is so crazy. So what was it? Mecha Break.
Mecha Break.
Genuinely, it looks really good. I've played it.
It's balanced. Insanely fun game. We were running 6 mans last night, and it was some of the best, like the most fun I've had more than rivals playing with like full teams of rivals. It was insanely fun.
It is the most gooner shit when it comes to the character creator. Because holy
Been spending most of my life living in a gooner's paradise.
bro,
Who says a 16-year-old can't be a mech pilot?
Yeah.
the fact that it's like 16-year-old and you can give her fucking thunder thighs,
Thunder thighs,
with
and
giant jiggly titties.
And then the schoolgirl outfit is so atrocious.
It's uncomfortable. It's
Yeah.
like
I mean, that is definitely an Evangelion reference, but put that with the voice lines and the titty physics, and it's over.
yeah,
it is 100% a fucking Asian game.
It's so funny because what I was saying last night is that like a lot of times you'll get these shitty games that the whole point are these like sexy playable characters.
Most gacha games.
Yes. And it's like this one, they're like, we're going to do that, but actually make a really good game too. And I'm like, oh my God, it's unstoppable.
Yeah.
They've done it. They've actually made a good game with sexy playable characters.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Yeah.
There's been one of those gacha games I've been able to stomach, and that's I don't know if you've heard Wuthering Waves. And the only reason I can stomach it is because unlike Genshin, where it's like it's an action game, like Wuthering Waves is genuinely like, oh yeah, jump canceling, like every animation can be canceled out of. It's got combos. I was like, what the fuck? This is cool. Versus like the other one, like the Triple Z, whatever the fuck, that has like the borderline Dante ripoff. And I was like,
You should have heard us. I mean, maybe you did last night. Like all of us were doing like call outs, and I mean, it was incredible. It was so much fun. There's different game modes where you either have like ones you have to like go to objective, collect a key, then bring it over to someplace. There's other ones where it's just like holding points that get you points overall, and then there's one that's it's like first team to get 6 kills, and it's best 2 out of 3. So it's like that one you just have to try to stay alive but also kill the other team, and the first team to get 6 kills wins. Very cool. And then the like extraction mode is really interesting because that one you can get so many like items that you can then use in normal multiplayer. So you can get like mods that you can put on like different parts of the mech, and it'll be like, oh, your lock on range is increased, but the time that it takes to lock on is decreased. And then what you can do is then you can get rid of like, there's different tiers of mods. So there's like gray, which are common, it's like the whole color system.
There's a rarity system.
And then you can eliminate 10 of each to get one of the next tier, which is just like does more of that. Very like in depth, but you can get a ton of that, including like paint colors, all these things just from the extraction.
the customization that you were showing off, like the different color palettes and like how detailed that shit is like insane. Which is what you want out of a game like if you're gonna give me a mech game, let me fucking design that mech.
So on a couple of them, there are skins that you can like get.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're gonna come out with that. Like there's already a battle pass for the demo, but you can't buy the battle pass. It's like here's the battle pass, and it's like in battle passes there's like a free battle pass and then the paid battle pass. It's essentially everyone now just has the free battle pass because there's no
payment options yet.
There's no paid option, so they don't even show you the paid version. It's just like, oh, every level in the battle pass is just a crate that gives you
either currency.
It's
or
a color crate, so
some...
it's like in that crate is going to be that rarity color.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of which, Overwatch.
I hope it does work though on Steam Deck, because
I mean it started up and ran. It just wouldn't let me use the keyboard. When the first one came out, the beta, it wouldn't let me do shit. But I'm gonna try it again, see if that works. Overwatch recently started doing loot boxes again.
Do you see how they brought that out like it was a good thing?
Yeah, like where's all the other gameplay that you promised?
Remember the fucking PvE or PvE
the
mode?
PvE, the story
what is
mode.
Co-op
interesting
missions.
is I know for a fact like they thought that was going to bring players back, and I think it just did was to keep players from leaving. But the thing is though, if there was a game that brought that mechanic back, it would be Rocket League, because there were people that just had like the whole open market.
Yeah, they
on
would just
Rocket
grind
League.
and make that their job.
You would just buy and sell stuff, and just like I knew a guy that made like over $100 just doing that.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it's not like full time, but he would like buy an item that he saw that somebody else would want for an item that he wanted. So he'd make like 2 trades to get the thing, and it didn't, cost him anything.
Yeah.
You remember when Overwatch 2 dropped and they opened everybody's saved up loot boxes?
Yeah.
Which was fucked, because it was like...
Someone's talking about suing because of that. I can't remember who.
Well, because the whole bit was a lot of people saved them for events so they could get specific event skins and shit. And it's like, oh yeah, and then literally like when they opened Overwatch 2, it was like, hey, we opened all your loot boxes for you. Here's all the shit you got. And it's like, they were... Because some people had like hundreds saved.
Yeah.
And it's like, all that's open now.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody enjoys all their new Kiriko skin loot boxes. I'm going to be playing Rivals.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, how's that been?
It's been great. I finished the Battle Pass. Human Torch and the Thing are out now. I think Human Torch might need a nerf.
I've seen gameplay of Human Torch. He seems broken.
I know that we said last episode that last bit we were going to cut out because of what happened. I don't think we need to anymore.
Oh, no.
Because of how public...
I mean, everybody has
seen his tweet.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I probably will for congruency sake, just to be like, hey, we're gonna cut this out and then actually do it instead of classic us, which is cut this out and
don't cut
or
it.
add this in and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Did you guys see?
But I think he's gotta have there's no way he's not getting a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after all that, it's like I'm sure some studios
In the short time that
hey,
I've known,
we would love to have you.
In the short time that I've known Jack, he's worked for 3 different studios.
Yeah.
So I think he's fine.
Yeah.
Did you guys see? Also, speaking of, I think this is NetEase who does Rivals, right? Yeah. You see that they're almost borderline nuking all Western development.
Yeah.
Which includes Quantic Dream, the makers of Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human, and that new Star Wars Eclipse game that is never coming out.
Joey has a theory that is because of some Overwatch mobile deal that they had. Like they had, because they did the mobile version of Overwatch, I guess.
Which I think is only available in Asian countries, right?
Well, some form of it is available here. I think it might have been the Switch version or something too.
Really? Huh.
I don't know, but I think in that contract they had to have like American studios.
Oh, it's like the same thing with like Microsoft getting in the Japan market. They have to have like a Japan studio.
Yeah, but now that deal is done, they don't care about that. So that's Joey's theory at least.
It sucks too, because I'm not the biggest fan of Quantic Dreams games. I didn't like Beyond Two Souls. I didn't really like Detroit either.
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, I know people like those games, but like it just weren't my. It's not my. I'm not a big fan of the like kind of point and click choose your own adventure. Like I need
there
way
is
more.
a better version
You
of
mean
that.
RPGs?
Yeah.
There's a better version, a better studio that
Fucking
a
Telltale.
studio that does better at that, and that's going to be either Telltale or Dark Picture.
Yeah, honestly, no, I'd much rather play a Dark Picture because like
Much rather play
it's
Dark.
way well because it's also just way more tense. Like I'm gonna be honest, like the story of Detroit is,
Become Human. Oh, I'm an android.
I'm a robot, but I want to be a real boy.
Exactly.
it's the most unsubtle racism is bad story that I've ever played.
Newsflash: racism bad. We fucking know.
Shut up!
Did you see?
What's the clanker?
Clankers. Shout out Star Wars for creating a slur. That's great.
Slur for robots goes hard.
Yeah, it goes hard. Clankers.
That's still my favorite. My favorite slur still is when I played Dragon Age as an elf. They're like, "You fucking knife here," and I was like, "Whoa!"
I called somebody an Onk Monkey in Marvel Rivals
Dude.
like 2 days ago, and Joey and Taylor got real quiet.
Bro, they can't handle the racism. They can't handle the
truth.
slurs.
Yeah.
Onk Monkey's crazy though. It is really funny, but like, yeah, if you weren't fucking around with that kind of humor, you'd be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like it's Moon Knight humor.
Yeah, no, dude, Moon Knight would say it. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I'm glad he got his $5 back.
But
I love the memes that are showing.
no,
up
I'm
there.
gonna be playing Mecha Break for a long time.
Well, hopefully this one stays around on like Gundam Evolution.
Dude, so
Yes.
there's different like classes of mechs.
Because you were playing the sniper,
Light sniper.
light sniper. Okay.
There's a heavy sniper which doesn't have any like cloaking abilities. His thing is that he can just hover, so like you'll just sit in the sky, which is really a bad tactic. It doesn't work out well.
You're like, honestly, your sniper was way more fun even just looking at it, because it's like, I can cloak, I'm fucking fast. Like, yeah, I would much rather take, I'm assuming, the damage nerf.
Oh yeah, I'm a glass cannon for sure. But the thing is, though,
glass cannons are just more
so
fun.
many times where it's like, there was one where it's you deliver 2 payloads at the same time, so it's like, and that one's cool because instead of like normal like shooter heroes where you have one person's attacking, one person's defending, this is like you both have a track that's going along the same. It begins the beginning. It starts in a middle point and then goes out, and then they converge back together again, and then they travel the same path, and then they split off again, and then they travel the same path again. But it's like the whole thing is like, oh, do you attack
or
the
do you
other,
defend yours?
It's very complex, and I think that's way more interesting than, oh, one's pushing, one's attacking and defending. But
well, because there's a level of like, I'm not gonna say like unfairness or unbalance to it, but like when very clearly, like if you're pushing if you're pushing the payload out, you kind of have a better, because if you're always on the defense, the closer that payload gets, you kind of just getting pushed back and back and back. That I feel like,
well, there is things. It's like in Marvel's Rivals, there's sections that change the who's in, like who has the
advantage.
In the beginning, defenders have the advantage because you have to get out of the building. But then once you get close to the next objective, defenders still have the advantage. But once you get the next advantage,
then it's usually a choke point.
The attackers have the advantage because they're spawning right where the next checkpoint is.
Yeah.
And the defenders have to go all the way over.
I will say, this new map in Rivals, it feels like if you're attacking, you fucking got it. You're good.
Yeah. But in this one, so there's light sniper, heavy sniper, then there's a light, not flyer, I guess it is. It's ones that they're flying units where they mostly stay in the flying mode, and there's a light or a medium and a heavy. There's a light healer and a heavy or a medium healer. Then you have brawlers, which are just melees. And then you have
I have to ask this for my own personal taste. Any of them got a sword?
Yeah, multiple.
Fuck, yes.
The brawlers do, and then there's one called Eliseness, and she has.
She could be running that Barbados build with the fucking katana.
And then there's ones that are just like heavy arms, which you have 2 Gatling guns and missiles, and you just have
BJ's
shields.
build and armored core.
Those are really those are just like the tanks of the game. That are insanely hard to kill.
What was the fucker in Gundam Evolution? The
gun tank.
Broken as fuck. Absolutely the best class in that game.
Oh, dude, I miss Gundam Evolution. That was fun as fuck.
That still shows it, because it's in my owned games on PS5 that I'm like.
Same.
I know. I had to hide it because I was just like, I didn't want to be reminded of the fact.
Well, I was going back.
I didn't want to have to scroll past it every day.
I was going back to look at because I still have Fist of the North Star, the Yakuza, technically Yakuza game.
What?
The same day. Yeah, it's
not the anime.
Well, it's the devs, the Yakuza devs made Fist of the North Star
game.
But instead of like making like, oh, we're gonna try,
they said the Yakuza game, and I was like, so Yakuza took the
I mean, yes, it's borderline a Yakuza game. Plays the exact same way as Zero.
And you can get the Kiryu suit.
You can just make Kenshiro be Kiryu, voiced by Kiryu's voice actor and everything. Just put him in. It's crazy. But
that's crazy.
I was going past that and I saw Gundam Evolution. I went, fuck, man, because even I was enjoying that game. I'm not the biggest fan.
I still want to play Berserk Musou. Speaking of,
Gundam Evolution,
if that wasn't fucking $60 every time I went to go look at it.
Well, it goes on sale every time there's a sale, but the problem is it doesn't run on Steam Deck at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the cutscenes just don't work, and there's no fix for it.
Like what I said when I first played this game is what I liked about Mecha Break is that there's a lot more survivability. And it's not like an Overwatch or Rivals.
Where if you're just going up against a diva, you'll get shredded or something.
Yes. And then I played this, and it does feel a little bit closer to a normal hero shooter, but only because we're playing now in Platinum, so we're up against higher ranked people, and also we have a lot of team communication. So like Roman, who's the Falcon, who's the light fighter or the medium flyer, and me and him will just call out a person that we see. I'll focus him, and then he'll like just pressure him, and it's just like in like 10 seconds they're dead.
Does-
And so it's like,
Do any of the flyers have like aerial bombardments? Like
yeah,
you fly above
yeah.
and
So
just drop bombs and shit?
that's the heavy
Okay.
the heavy bomber. It's his name's Sky Raider.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah.
that just seems like it'd be fun. Where you
It
just
is
like, oh, they're
You
all right
have-
there.
you have
Okay.
the flyers are like the biggest. What is it when they're like the biggest counter to my character, because they have a scan ability which highlights everything,
Even if you're
including
cloaked. Yeah.
including me if I'm cloaked, and then they'll just fly by, drop bombs, and then turn around and then fly. Yeah.
Because
flyers.
I think the glass cannon builds are some of my favorites in any games. Like most RPGs, that's what I like doing.
There's the
I
heavy
prefer
brawler.
being fast with higher damage versus like
There's some really cool abilities. So the heavy brawler has this ability where it like he puts up this like rectangle that then deploys shields, and it locks somebody inside this. It's like, I got you for 10 seconds and you're all mine. And then you do your spin attack, which is literally you're just holding out this double-bladed laser axe, and just spin around, and you can just lock somebody in a box for 10 seconds and just playtime.
Now, BJ, when you boot this game up, are you gonna make a dummy thick 16-year-old?
I mean, if the guys are all gay, I guess I have to.
No, because
I mean, they're definitely all like.
I think they probably use the same character animations, right, for every character.
I don't know.
Because that would definitely make a guy look
To be
gay.
fair, though, at first, I think when I went through the character creator, I was like, oh, I'm going to make a dude because I'm a dude. And that's just like the normal
gut response.
ideology and
Yeah.
character creation. And then I was like, nah, dude, I'm making a chick. And then I was like, oh my God, this is bad.
the like
It's so.
If I do
who
end
says
up
a
going
teenager
with-
can't be a mech pilot?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not
uncomfortable.
using that voice, that voice actress.
Yeah.
Do they all have different lines? Like, can you get a deeper one that's like?
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
out of, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
6 women voice lines, and mine's just on 1, and it's number 2. That's the younger anime girl.
I'm gonna make me.
If I do it, I'll definitely just make a carbon copy of like an Evangelion character, so
just
that
gonna-
I don't feel too bad about it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make the Dami Mommy thick thighs character for
Dude,
sure.
I think Adams though is thick, not just like thin waist.
No, like chunky.
And also 7 foot tall. Like he did the height max too. I was like, she's a giantess, and he's like, yeah, that's what I want.
No, honestly, no. Me and Adam on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
100% make that.
Yeah,
shit.
giantess.
I'm about to make Mech Lady Dimitrescu in this.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Resident Evil if it was cool.
No, it's such a fun game. I'm going to be playing it all the time. Yesterday, I was like, I have, because Monday is my new day of editing, and I'm way more into it now than
Like versus the Sunday, like yeah.
So now I'm just trying to savor all my free time. I really am.
So
Yeah.
you work Monday, come back home, do the edit, and then
Do that, and it's way more manageable, and because I'll be like sitting there like right when I get home, and I'll be like, all right, well, let me transfer the files from the computers. And then like another hour will roll by, and I'll remember that, and I'll be like, okay, now it's time for me to edit, do that. And then by like dinner time, I'll be like, oh, it's dinner time. I can now render while I'm not doing anything. Render, and then it's 7 o'clock, and that gives me 4 hours until I have to upload.
Yeah.
Until I go to bed. So
Speaking of dinner time, Daddy hungry.
you hungry?
Hungry, and it's been going for a minute, so
Well, if you're also thirsty, you could use our code TakeItSleazy at checkout at
you some-
w.gg.com or just w.gg.
Yes, no
W.GG,
com.
get yourself some sick ass tubs.
And Jitterless Energy.
Beach and Peach still the peak.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
The Soul Leveling one's still going on. The collab?
Yeah.
I think so. Their collabs go on for
they're
a good
pushing it a
while.
lot. I'm getting lots of emails about it because they're hyped for that collab.
Yeah, I've been getting texts.
I mean, it's arguably like one of the more hype animes like coming out. The fact
I've been
Dubby
seeing a
got
lot
it,
of
yeah.
like TikToks and reels about like you know that the solo leveling community is pissed that they're getting like episodes per week because they're
I want
finished
it
an
all.
episode, they're like, what the fuck was that? I
want
want
more.
more.
well to be in.
That was just 20 minutes. What?
I think Soul Leveling is just the anime where you want all the action right the fuck now. Because
Speaking of which,
yeah.
W should do some Sakamoto Days.
Yes,
Promotion.
we do need to catch up. Probably like 2 weeks worth of
Yeah.
two
I
episodes.
caught up, and they're at points where I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
They gotta find Slur, which is his fucking name.
Well, as always,
Take it sleazy.